Welcome to Mindful Leadership, Transforming Lives, with your host, Singh. This is where leadership meets purpose, presence, and passion. In today's fast-paced, high-pressure world, we face a leadership crisis. Too often, teams are led by managers who lack empathy, clarity, and vision, leaving individuals uninspired, disconnected, and undervalued. But it doesn't have to be this way. Great leadership isn't born, it's built. The end game: empower your leadership, inspire the world. Every week, join me, your host Singh, as we tackle the gaps in leadership and life coaching head on, learning how mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and compassion can redefine success. This isn't just another podcast, it's a mission to fill the void left by ineffective leadership. And it's not just about leadership in business. Life coaching for leaders and new executives is at heart of this journey. Ready to rise above the noise and lead with clarity, purpose, and impact? Join a global movement dedicated to reshaping the future of leadership one mindful moment at a time. Let's begin.
Welcome back to Mindful Leadership Transforming Lives on Transformation Network. You are again here, and I wanted to start with a workshop I just did this morning, and what a revelation we had. We had about 12 leaders, and where we ended was the root cause of burnout and overachievement is a deeper belief that our worth is somehow tied to how much we produce. See, high performing leaders often operate from a place of proving rather than being, chasing output, validation, and external success, while silently wondering why it never feels like enough. The internal pressure creates a cycle of overwork, guilt when resting, and constant emotional strain. But when leaders begin to detach their self worth from achievement, everything changes. They show up differently, with presence, with clarity, and with intention. They make better decisions, build deeper relationships, and lead from purpose instead of performance anxiety. This is the shift from hustle to harmony. And it's not just about avoiding burnout, it's about finally becoming the kind of leader they were always meant to be. I am your host, Singh, and today we are diving into one of the most important skills every leader needs: strategic thinking, or as I call it, the art of not winging it. Be honest. How many of you woke up today and thought, yep, I've got everything under control? Probably none of us. And if you did, let's be real, you're probably lying to yourself. Most of the day, we wake up feeling like we are behind, like we are stuck in the morning fog, squinting into the day, just hoping the next gulp of caffeine will guide us to safety. And then life hits. You're trying to make decisions, but everything is overwhelming. Deadlines, distractions, Karen from accounting with her urgent email that's somehow about printer toner. This is your brain on chaos. Honestly, it feels like everyone is stuck in fog these days. Have you seen the news? We have got billionaires arguing over space tourism on Twitter, AI writing Christmas carols, and somehow people are still debating pineapple on pizza. It's chaos out there. If strategic thinking were ever needed, it's now. Because if you're not thinking clearly, you are just adding to the noise. And let's face it, the world doesn't need more noise. We need clarity. And here's the deal: if you are constantly reacting to life instead of planning for it, you're not leading, you're surviving. And surviving is fine if you are on a reality TV show, but in real life, not so much. Strategic thinking is what clears the fog. It gives clarity. It helps you to connect today's decision to tomorrow's outcome. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. So that's what we are going to do, clearing the fog. I'm going to give you practical framework to cut through the noise, focus on what matters, and lead with intention. And don't worry, it's not as boring as it sounds. We'll have some laugh along the way because if you can't laugh at life, you're probably taking it too seriously. So let's get started. Let's talk about what strategic thinking actually is. Honestly, it's not some mystical skill reserved for Fortune 500 CEOs or for chess grandmasters sitting in the dark rooms with their 12 move strategies. Strategic thinking is all about seeing the big picture while staying grounded in the present. It's not about solving problem. It's about planning ahead and connecting your actions to future outcomes. Think of this way. It's the difference between playing checkers and playing chess. Checkers is reactive. You are just hopping around, trying not to get jumped. Chess, on the other hand, is about looking ahead. You're not just thinking about your next move, you're thinking about the ripple effect 5 moves later. It's calculated, it's intentional. And let's be real, it's the difference between feeling like a leader and feeling like you're putting out fires all day. Now, here is where mindfulness comes in. Mindful leadership is about being fully present. So you don't let distractions, assumptions, or emotions cloud your judgment. I started today with the findings of the workshop. It allows the leaders, when you expose the emotional root of burnout and finally confront it. Think of like clearing a foggy windshield on a rainy day. If your windshield is covered in fog, are you driving with confidence? No, you're not. You're basically guessing what's ahead and praying you don't end up in a ditch. But once it's clear, you can navigate with purpose, just do what's around you, and get where you need to go. Mindfulness gives you that sense of clarity. It helps you to step back, take a breath, and say, okay, what's actually happening here? What is the big picture? Without that, you are just reacting to whatever life throws at you. And trust me, life does throw curveballs all the time. Let's make it real. Ponder this. You are planning a road trip. Without strategic thinking, you're driving around aimlessly, hoping you end up somewhere cool. You're like, oh, let's just see where the road takes us. The road takes you to a gas station in the middle of nowhere with questionable hot dogs and a bathroom you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. But with strategic thinking, you have got a map, snacks, a playlist that doesn't include your friend's weird obsession with 90s decor. You know where you're going, you have planned your stops. You have even built in some flexibility just in case your GPS decides to take you on a scenic route through someone's cornfield. It happens all the time. The point is, strategy keeps you on track and gets you where you need to go without the regret of eating that gas station hot dog. Speaking of regret, let's tie this into what's happening in the world right now. The recent headlines about AI. Everyone is either hyping it up or panicking about. Companies are racing to figure out how AI fits into their strategy, and some of them are just throwing money at the problem without plan. Like they think ChatGPT is going to magically run their business for them. That's not strategy. That's just a wishful thinking. Strategic thinking is this in this context would be asking, how does this new tool align with our long-term goals? What problem are we solving? How do we measure success? But instead, you have got people saying, let's just use AI to write our tweets, and everything will be fine. No, it won't. That's like putting a band-aid on a leaky boat and wondering why you're still sinking. Here's the bottom line. If you're making decisions without clarity, you're basically throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. And let's be honest, most of that spaghetti is ending up on the floor. Strategic thinking isn't about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about slowing down, stepping back, and asking, what is the bigger picture here? So, if you are feeling overwhelmed by decisions, whether it's your business, your career, or even just deciding what to make for dinner, start by asking, am I playing checkers or am I playing chess? And if the answer is checkers, don't worry, we are going to fix that today. Let me make it personal for a second. Take a moment and think about a decision you have made recently. Maybe something at work, like responding to an email, or maybe it was deciding whether or not to order delivery for third time this week. Ask yourself, did I think about the bigger picture? Did I slow down and consider the ripple effect of that decision? Or was I just reacting in the moment? If you are realizing you have been in reactive mode lately, that's okay. Awareness is the first step. You can't play chess if you don't even know you are on the board, right? All right. Now that we have got this whole clearing the fog metaphor rolling, let's talk about how to actually do it. Because let's face, nobody wants to live in the fog unless you are in one of those moody Instagram photos where you're staring off into the mist with a scarf on. This is real life. Fog is frustrating, and that's where the focus framework comes in. Yes, focus. It's your go to tool for cutting through distraction, finding clarity, and making intentional decisions. How it works? Focus stands for finding clarity, observing, clarifying, uniting, and sustaining. It's simple, actionable, and guaranteed to help you stop flying blind and start leading from purpose right this moment. So let's break it down. Step one, finding clarity. This is where you ask what truly matters in this situation. Strip away the noise and focus on the core issue. For example, let's say you're planning a meeting. Don't just think about the agenda, think about what outcome you actually want. Are you trying to solve a problem, get buy in, or just meet because it's Tuesday and everybody thinks that you are supposed to do it? Because if it's the last one, you're wasting everybody's time, including your own. It's like going to grocery store without a list. You walk in there thinking I'll grab what I need, and next thing you know, you are standing in snack aisle with a cart full of chips, forgetting the milk you actually needed. So finding clarity is like making that list. It keeps you focused on what matters and stops you from wandering into metaphorical snack aisle of life. Next up, observe bias. Now, this is step where you have to step back and think about what might be clouding your judgment. Are you clinging to an idea because it's familiar, or are you making assumption based on fear or ego? Think of it like clearing out your junk drawer in your kitchen. You know, the one with random batteries, a takeout menu from a restaurant that closed 3 years ago, and 17 pens that don't work. You have got to clear that before you can find what you actually need. So here's a real world example. A friend of mine was convinced he needed to spend thousands of dollars on a fancy website redesign because everyone else doing it. Turns out that customers didn't care about the website. They cared about faster shipping. But he was stuck in this bias of thinking his business needed a look to certain way. Once he stepped back and observed that bias, he saved himself a ton of money and time. Step three, clarify goals. This is where you ask, what is my immediate priority? And how does it connect to my long term vision? For example, if your goal is to grow your business, don't just say, I want to make money. That's vague and uninspiring. Instead, say, I want to grow revenue by 20% this quarter by launching a new product. Specific goals create focus. It's like when you go to gym and say, I want to get in shape. Okay, but what does that mean? Are you trying to run a marathon, lift heavier weights, or just survive Zumba class without collapsing? See, clarity matters. Otherwise, you're just wandering around the gym pretending to stretch while secretly you're scrolling Instagram. Step four, unite efforts. Strategic thinking isn't a solo sport. It's about aligning your team, resources, and time toward a common goal. You have got to ask who needs to be involved? What tools or support do I need? Most importantly, how do I get everyone rowing in the same direction? I used the word rowing. So let's imagine you are on a rowing team and half the team is rowing forward while the other half is rowing backward. Guess what? You are not going anywhere. You are just spinning in circles. That's what happens when your team isn't aligned. And yes, it's a frustrating experience. So, step four is about making sure everyone is on the same page, moving toward the same goal. Take the recent hype around AI tools. Every company is scrambling to integrate AI into their processes, but the ones that are really succeeding, they are the ones uniting their teams around a clear goal. A clear goal like improving customer experience or speeding up workflows. The ones that are not succeeding, they're just adding AI because it sounds cool and hoping it works. Does not. And final step, step five, sustain progress. This is the step where you reflect on what's working, what's not working, and how to adjust. Think of it like cleaning your glasses. If you don't check in once in a while, things get blurry and you start making decisions based on smudges instead of reality. It's like when you're driving and your GPS says you are on the fastest route, but you're sitting in bumper to bumper traffic wondering if it's lying to you. See, checking in regularly, whether it's your GPS, your strategy, or your team, is how you make sure you're actually on the right path. And here is a quick tip for sustaining progress. Schedule regular reflection sessions. I cannot stress enough the impact of simple reflection sessions, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly. Take time and ask yourself what's working, what's not, and what can we do better. It does not have to be complicated. It could just be a 5-minute check in with your team or even with yourself. So here's the truth: the focus framework isn't about making perfect decisions, it's about making clear and intentional decisions. And that is the game changer. Because when you lead with clarity, you don't just react to life, you shape it. So the next time you are feeling overwhelmed, just remember, find, observe, clarify, unite, and sustain. It's going to be a roadmap out of the fog if you can just put in practice to find clarity, observe biases, clarify your goals, unite efforts, and sustain progress. Now, here's a challenge for this week. Pick one decision you are facing right now, big or small, and run it through the focus framework. Write it down step by step. What is the core issue? Where might you have blind spots? What's your specific goal? Who else needs to be involved? And how will you check in to make sure you are staying on track? And if you're feeling brave, share your insights with me on social media using hashtag mindful leadership. I would love to hear how you are using focus to clear the fog and lead with intention. All right. So let's put the focus framework into action with a quick, powerful exercise I call the clarity reset. This is your reset button for when fog starts rolling in. You know, those moments when your brain feels like a browser with 37 tabs open and you're not sure where the music is coming from. Yeah, we have all been there. So here's the thing: clarity doesn't show up on its own, it's something we create. And we are going to do that together right now. Don't worry. No yoga poses, no incense is required unless you are into that. Then light it up and let's get started. Before, this is the same practice, this is the same exercise I used this morning in the workshop. So these were leaders who thought they have mastered mindful leadership to be able to lead confidently without burnout, but yet they're struggling daily with burnout, with emotional fatigue, and reactive decision making. And after the session, what we uncovered, the problem theme that resonated across the group, they don't trust themselves to slow down and fear losing control. Why? Because they feel their self worth is tied to constant achievement and output. And as a result, they operate from anxiety rather than alignment, impacting their decision making and relationship. So let's try the clarity reset quickly. Step one, pause. Seriously, just stop for a moment, not unless you're driving or using mechanical machines or heavy machinery. So just stop for a moment. If you're multitasking right now, like folding laundry, checking emails, or trying to keep your toddler from coloring on the wall, put it all down for a minute. I promise the world won't end. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a second and slowly exhale through your mouth. Let's do it again. Inhale, hold, exhale. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel your brain start to let go of all the noise. One more time. Inhale, hold it, and exhale. Okay, that feels like your mind literally went from Times Square at rush hour to a quiet park, right? So now, the second step. We have hit the pause. Here is a big question. What's the main focus today? Not tomorrow, not next week, not 10 years from now. What is one thing that really matters right this moment, right today? Not about a to do list. It's not about intention. Write it down if you can. If you don't have a pen, say it aloud. Maybe it's finishing a project, having a tough conversation, or just getting through the day with some sanity in them. Do you ever feel like you wake up and jump straight into chaos? Like even before your feet hits the ground, your brain is already running through emails, meetings, deadlines, family stuff, and you're just trying to keep up. It's like you are on autopilot, reacting to everything without ever stopping and asking yourself, what actually matters today? If you're nodding, you're not alone. So many of us live like that, just driving straight into the whirlwind without pausing to think about what's truly important. But here's the thing, when you don't stop to find your focus, the chaos takes over. And that's how you end up feeling drained, overwhelmed, and let's be honest, behind the stuff. So let me flip the script for you right now. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is my focus today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. What's the one thing that really matters? Maybe it's finishing a project, maybe it's having that tough conversation that has been we have been avoiding. Maybe it's something simple like spending time with someone you care about. Whatever it is, own it. Because when you get clear on your focus, everything else starts to fall into place. You stop reacting to life, you start leading it. Now, let's talk about the fog, the distractions that are pulling you away from that focus. What's cluttering your mental space? Maybe it's an email you're avoiding, a decision you're overthinking, or that nagging voice in your head telling you you are not doing enough. Get them out of your head onto a paper, write it down. Because once they are out in the open, you can deal with them. I shared about the big workshop this morning. My brain was stuck last week on an email regarding I didn't want to answer, and it was just sitting there silently mocking me. So I wrote down, tackled in 5 minutes, and boom, mental clarity restored. Sometimes the distractions aren't as big as we make in our own head. So now you have identified your focus and your distractions. Here's the final step: take action, just one. What is the next small thing you can do to move forward? Maybe it's sending that email, making that phone call, or scheduling time for that project. Don't overthink. Just pick one and do it. Because the truth is, clarity isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right thing. And when you focus on just one step, the fog starts to lift, build momentum. And that's it. That's the clarity reset. 3 steps, 5 minutes, and you're back on track. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what is my focus? Notice what is distracting you, and then take one small action to move forward. It's simple, it's powerful, and it works. And here is what I want you to remember: clarity isn't something you wait for, it is something you create. Life is always going to throw fog at you. Emails, deadlines, distractions keep going on. But you have got the tool to clear it now. You have got the power to reset, refocus, and lead with intention. And if you're waiting for somebody's permission, I give you permission to go out there and make it happen. So here is where rubber meets the road. Here's a challenge for the big. It's not going to involve climbing a mountain. Just take one simple step, one single decision, one single journal entry, reflect and share your wins when you can. And listen, don't worry about making it perfect. Nobody out here is judging your handwriting or grammar. I mean, unless you're sharing it with Karen from accounting, it probably has a spreadsheet for everything. But otherwise, this is about progress, not perfection. So here's what I want you to remember: strategic thinking isn't about overthinking, it's about clearing the fog, focusing on what matters, and making intentional decisions. It's about taking one step at a time and building a foundation for success. You have this. And the best part, you're not doing it alone. When you have 5 minutes to reflect on a decision, you're just solving a problem. You're building clarity, confidence, and momentum. That's how you lead your life, your team, and your future with progress. So go out there and make it happen. This is your host Singh, and you are listening to Mindful Leadership Transforming Lives on the Transformation Network. Until next time, stay mindful, stay intentional, keep leading with clarity and heart. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching Mindful Leadership Transforming Lives. With me, your host Singh. We are honored to have you join us on this journey to explore the transformative power of mindfulness, emotional intelligence, and authentic leadership. Tune in every week on transformationtalkradio.com at noon Pacific on Tuesdays, where we will continue to explore how mindful leadership can create a ripple effect of positive changes in your life and lives of those you influence. This show is dedicated to helping you lead with purpose, presence, and passion. Whether you're navigating the complexities of business, building strong connection with your team, or striving to make a meaningful impact in the world around you. To learn more about the show, access additional resources, or dive deeper, visit singhpowerupcoach.com. Remember, leadership isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are. Let's continue to transform lives together, one mindful moment at a time. See you next week.